Oh, good morning to you. Good morning. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and I am Brother Charles again here this beautiful Sunday morning. And we just want to let you know that I am blessed. I am worthy. I am blessed. And I am a creator. That's right. I am a creator. I create situations. I create things. I am a creator. I'm part of my Father. My Father is the creator of the universe. Therefore, He has tell me to be a creator also, just as you are. You are a creator. You create things whether you know it or not. But this is one topic that we kind of look at God as being up there, and we down here. No, God is in you, not out of you. He's in you. She is in you. It is in you, whichever way you want to go with it. I'm not going to even get caught up in that situation, but we're going to talk about how we make decisions. Decisions. Something we all do on a daily basis. You make decisions, I make decisions, we make decisions every day. You and I are makers of decisions. And some of the scriptures that we want to kind of back up on some individuals that had to make some decisions that were life-changing, that had to make some decisions that were worthy of their actions, that will have tremendous results upon those decisions. You and I make those decisions on a daily basis. We get up in the morning. You don't have to get out the bed. You can stay in the bed if you want to. That's a decision that you make. Or you can get up and go to work. Or you can stay at home. Whatever you decide to do, that is a decision that you make. And decisions are very important because they determine the fact that you have a made-up mind. Decisions come from a made-up mind. They don't come from a wishy-washy mind, but they come from a made-up mind. When you make a decision, be sure that you have the knowledge of what you want to do, what you want to make the decision on. In the Bible, there are several stories that deal with individuals that had to make decisions. One of those stories over in 2 Kings 7, 1 through 9. I'm not going to read all this for you, but I'm just giving you these as reference to these particular scriptures of individuals that made decisions. It deals with some lepers that found a lot of abundance and wealth and everything, but they say, sure, if we keep this to ourselves, it won't be good. So some evil will come upon us. So they went and made this decision to tell someone else about their findings. And the next one is in Esther, the 4th chapter and 16th verse, whereas Esther has to make a decision as to whether or not to go before the king's court and to appear, even though she hasn't been summoned. And anyone that will walk into the king's court could be killed instantly right away because he didn't summon you to come in. Therefore, if you didn't wave that scepter, you would be a dead individual. So Esther made the decision to come into the king's court because her people were at the risk of being totally wiped out by a wicked plot by Haman. Of course, this, if you get a chance to read the story of Esther, that was a decision that she made. She asked her fellow peers, her countrymen, to fast for her as she was getting ready to go before the king. And this is something, she made that decision because some individuals think that, well, it won't happen to me because it's over there. Trust me, my friend, if it's over in that community, it's headed towards your community also. So don't think that you are isolated or insulated because it's not going to happen. Evil is evil. It doesn't make any difference where it is. It has a tendency to spread. And the next one comes out of the book of Luke. Luke, the 15th chapter, where we deal with two young men. One asks his father, give me my inheritance. We know this as the prodigal son. This boy goes off and lives a riotous life, and then hard times fall upon him, and he makes the decision to what? To go home. He says, my servants at my father's house are even better than this. So he made a decision. And the next one is over in Acts, the 5th chapter, 5, 1 through 10, whereas we deal with Ananias and Sapphira. Well, this was a decision that they made, an agreement to sell the land and give the property to the prophets, but they held back. They changed their mind. And they didn't lie to the prophet, they lied to the Holy Spirit. Of course, as you read that story in Acts 5, 1 through 10, you will understand that these individuals made the decision to do wrong. So decisions are very important. Of course, in James 1 through 8, it tells us about not being wishy-washy. Now, being studying, whatever you make up your mind to do, do it. Don't have any regrets. Don't bag up, well, I'm unstable. An unstable person, you can't depend upon unstable people. So let's look at some things that we make decisions on. There are three things that we have to have in order to make a decision in reference to what we want to do, our goal and thing. One is to have an objective. You need to have an objective. If you're going to make a decision on anything, you have to have an objective as to what the outcome is going to be, what you want to achieve. You want to know the reason why you're doing this. Therefore, you make a decision to go in a particular direction. You have to have an objective. The next one is the outcome. If I do this, what will the outcome be? What will happen if I do this? If I change my mind? If I don't do this, what will happen to me? So we have to look at the outcome as the decisions that we make. And the other one is commitment. The outcome deals with how things turn out. Commitment deals with the fact that we're going to see this thing through no matter what transpires. We make that decision. You make that decision to follow through on what you've committed to. I've seen individuals that would join church and they would come in for a little while and then they would go back out. There was no commitment. When you make a commitment to something, as the old saying, to thine own self be true, be sure that you're going to understand that there will be obstacles, there will be distractions, but you have to be committed to seeing your decision follow through. So when you make a decision, be sure that you are aware of what you're getting into. Sometimes people aren't aware to the things that they're getting into when they make these decisions. So make a decision, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's with your finances or with your health, you have to make that decision as to which direction you want to go. Case in point, let's look at our health, for instance. If I do not make a decision to eat right, to sleep right, to do right, guess what? The results will show. The results will show. You don't have to ask a person if they're working out or not. You can just look at the body. They can tell you whether or not they're working out or not. You don't have to ask a person if they love fishing. If you see them all the time with a fishing pole and a truck or car going fishing, you already know what their decision is. They love to go fishing. We make decisions based upon the things that we're attracted to, and then we make decisions based upon the things that are going to be helpful to us or harmful to us. So let's understand the essence of making a decision. There was an individual that was on a train, and I don't know if you've ever did this before, whereas you have made the decision to say something. This guy got on the train, he has little children there, I think it was on the subway, and they were just running wild, all of them down the train, and this other individual was sitting down, and he had sat there long enough. He said, well, I'm going to say something to this guy. It didn't seem to be bothering the man at all about his children running up and down the train and everything. So the guy says, well, why don't you calm those kids down? It didn't seem to be fazing him at all. And he was sitting there kind of like in the distance there. He said, yeah, maybe I do need to talk to them, get them to calm down. He said, but actually, we just left the hospital and their mother just died. And so you can understand, everything doesn't appear to be the way as it looks. Sometimes when we make a decision to do something, sometimes we will have to just kind of bag up, understand what it is that you're dealing with. And sometimes it's just good to be quiet, just let things go. Now, when he made the decision, he felt bad after he told the man to do something about the children, run them down because the kids was bothering him. But I guess they were trying to deal with the fact that the mother just passed, and he was dealing with the fact he just lost his wife. The decision to be quiet, the decision to say, I'm going to be a better person, the decision to say, I'm going to be punctual, you and only you can make that decision. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not good enough. I hear a lot of rhetoric about people talking about they're unworthy, they're not good enough, and I don't deserve this and I don't deserve that. Well, my friend, don't let anybody devalue you with statements like that. You are a spiritual being having an earthly experience. You have divinity in you. You're breathing. That comes from God. It doesn't come from nowhere else. It comes from God, the creator of the universe, of all that it is, was, and is to come. In my brief studies in the Bible, I have found out that there are so many things that people are not going to tell you. And until you make the decision to read it through for yourself, until you make the decision to apply these teachings to your life is not going to get any better. It might be at a standstill, but it's not going to get any better. You have the ability to change the direction that you're going in. You have the ability to make a decision based upon what you believe and what you think is right. You make those decisions based on that. In the story with the Ethiopian eunuch in Philippi, tells him about the Lord, and he says he has to be baptized. In the Ethiopian eunuch says, there's some water. What hinders us from being baptized? Baptize me now. Notice he didn't vote him into the church and ask him, did he want to become a part of the body? He had to be voted in. No. The man made a decision to be a Christian. He made a decision to follow Christ. Anytime you make a decision to be a part of any organization, it is imperative that you understand the essence of that organization as to what it stands for, as to what it is held accountable for. And if you don't do that, then, my friend, you are going to be very, very disturbed. You're going to be very disturbed. So it's good that you will make the decision to go in the direction that's going to be pleasing to you. Well, I want to lose weight. Well, that's great. That's great. You can lose weight if you want to, but I have a secret suspicion that when you lose something, you have the tendency to want to find it. You want to find whatever you lose. That's just something in your subconscious that you just want to find whatever you lose. Why not change the word from lose to release? I'm going to release this weight. I'm going to let it go. Let the weight go. See, and there's a difference. There's a difference. And whenever we have the mindset to understand that we intend to improve our overall standing, therefore, we become better individuals. You have to make that decision. People are going to look at you differently when you make a decision to come to work on time. They're going to look at you, whoa, look at you, look at you. What made you come in on time? You know, you're always late. Say, I have decided to be punctual. I've decided to leave early, 20 or 30 minutes early to be here on time. This is a decision that I have made, and I've come to the fact to know that I feel good when I get here on time. I can sit down and do whatever I want to do without being stressed out, running, trying to beat all the red lights and everything. Your decisions determine the type of life that you want to live. Your decisions determine the type of life that you're going to live. Whether or not you admit it or not, your decisions determine the type of life that you want to live. Good or bad, slow or bad. Your decisions determine the direction that you're going to go, whether you're going to go up or down, whether you're going to be nice or kind, ugly or beautiful. Your decisions will be hindered upon the knowledge that you have about anything that you want to make a decision about. And guess what? Until you decide to study, until you decide to make the right decisions, there will not be any change in your life. The government can't change your life. People outside can't change your life. The only person that's responsible for you is you. You make that decision to say, hey, I'm going to improve my situation. I'm going to improve my situation. I recall very vividly, I was at work one day, and I would decide to go on a 24-hour fast. And I went on this fast for 24 hours. I started at 6 this morning. I said I wasn't going to eat anything and drink anything until 6 the next morning. And trust me, lo and behold, and I love to eat, they had a fish fry session down at the place right down the street from where I worked at. And they invited us to come down for that. Well, now, here's the statement I had to tell my own self. I had to be true. I had to be true. I made a decision to go on this fast, and trust me, I did not go, and I did not eat anything for 24 hours. And of course, I felt good because I stayed committed to the decision that I made, that I was not going to eat anything. It is important, it is imperative that you understand in essence who you are. Now, we're getting ready to close out now. I had a brief disturbance. Now, we're going to close out now, but remember, you make the decisions. You are the cause of your actions, and things are going to go well for you whenever you make the decision to do that which is right. Again, this is Brother Charles. You have a blessed day.